Right, so welcome to this video, and in this video we're gonna go over this workflow over here. And basically what this workflow does is it serves you viral content ideas from global news in your industry completely on autopilot. So as the first thing, let's just run it once, see how it works, and then we can build it out together. I'm just gonna click here, run once. Fantastic, and I just received a message on Discord. So it says new viral content idea, check them out. So I copy this, then I go here, paste it, and this is how the document looks like. Viral content idea. OpenAI is testing its powers of persuasion. Then the first thing that it does is it gives an article summary as the first thing, and it says Sam Altman is touting AI's ability to sway people's behavior. His company is also wrestling with the risks. And then the way that I have programmed this workflow to operate is it gives a long form video framework so that you can take that content idea and you can create a YouTube video as I'm doing right now with a hook in the beginning, then an introduction, and basically how to go about creating the video. And then after the long form video script, we go to the short form video framework. And what happens here is it gives you the same idea for content creation, but for short form videos, which is basically 60 seconds or less. So this is one thing. We get the Google document ready served to us, and then if we go to our Google Sheet, basically what we have over here is the article title, we have the summary of the article, we have the article URL directly from that website that we got it from, then we have the Google document URL, which is the same Google document with the one that I opened just before. Next, we have the website that the article came from, which in this case is Wired. And then last two columns is the date that the article was created by the author that put it on the website. And then the last one is the date that the article was added to this specific sheet. Cool, so now let's go ahead and see how to build this automation step by step. As the first thing, I created this prompt for you, which you can find in the description below. It's going to be the free resources link. And basically how you use this prompt is, as you can see over here, it says use this prompt to list out 10 top and most popular news websites related to a specific subject in language and regions specified by the user. How to use this prompt: to customize this prompt, edit the bracketed portions of the text below, copy and paste the entire prompt into ChatGPT, ideally GPT-4 for better results. And then we have the prompt template over here. So what you do is you come here, you copy this, and you paste it on ChatGPT. And I have an example over here as how you can use it, and it says list the 10 top and most popular news websites, blah blah blah. The same with the prompt over here. And then over here the prompt doesn't specify the subject or the industry or the language or the region of focus. And over here we have an example of AI, English, and USA as the region of focus. So what we do is we take this prompt, you can actually come here and click on copy, and then you go to ChatGPT, you paste it, and let's add the same options as before. So AI, English, and region of focus, let's put USA and Canada. And as you can see over here, we have top worldwide websites on this subject and in the regions of focus that we determined that we're going to use to take the articles from these websites and then create the automation. So in this case, we're going to go with Wired. Okay, so the first thing that we do is we go to make.com, and the trigger in this workflow is going to be RSS, and then retrieve RSS feed items. Now, if you don't know what RSS is, it's basically like the part of the website that stores the articles that are getting uploaded, and it indexes the different articles in different categories, and it doesn't have like fantastic design and stuff like that. For example, the first page of Wired is like very nicely designed. It has the thumbnails for the different blogs and stuff like that. So the RSS feed is where all of the different articles are indexed in different categories. For example, we have here business, artificial intelligence, and for example, let's go to artificial intelligence over here. We click on that and it looks like this. So this over here is the indexing, or like the, just to keep it simple, just think that it's the indexing of all of the articles. So next, for the URL section over here, what you need to do is you need to go to the RSS feed of that website. For example, for Wired, I just Googled Wired RSS feed. If it is, for example, New York Times, you can search it with New York Times RSS feed. Let's say it's, I don't know, CNN. I hate CNN. CNN RSS feed. You can find the different websites. Okay, cool. So let's go with Wired RSS. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to come to this website that has the RSS feed. And then what you need to do is you need to click on the category that corresponds with the subject that you want to create content on and you want to have content ideas on. So in this case, it's going to be artificial intelligence for me. So I click on that. And then you take the URL you copy it, go here, you paste it. And then over here, you need to determine the maximum number of returned items. Every single time that this automation runs, it's going to return a specific amount of items to you. If you don't want to have like 100 messages, check this article and check that article, check the next article. And you want to have, for example, every single week, let's say on Sunday, you want to have 5 articles max that you can check and you can see on which subject you want to create content on. You choose the number that you want. So for example, in this case, let's go with 5 and then you click on OK. So next module is going to be a ChatGPT module and you want to click on create a completion. Model, just click on GPT-4o if you have access to that. And by the way, if that's the first video that you're watching on make.com, you will need to connect ChatGPT with Make. So how you do that is you will not see this option over here, like select method, model and stuff like that, because the first thing is going to be connecting ChatGPT and it's going to say something like API key or something like that. API is basically the connection between platforms. So what you need to do is you need to go to platform.openai.com. Then you need to go to API keys. You will need to create new secret key and then you will need to name it. For example, you can name it make.com key or something like that, and then you will have to click on create secret key. And by the way, I think the only time that you're going to be able to copy or see your key and then it's going to be invisible, for example, my secret key over here, I cannot even find it or I cannot even see it. So just copy it whenever you see it and then you will have to go to make.com and then paste it wherever it says like API key and then connect ChatGPT with make.com. Fantastic. Then you're going to see something like that. If you have the paid version of ChatGPT, then just choose GPT-4o and then you click on add methods. For all, you click on user and then basically you paste a prompt like that and it says analyze the name of the news publication site that this article is coming from. Example, if the link is this, and then I pasted a New York Times article, just say New York Times. Here is the URL of the article. And then for max tokens, just add 0 and then you click on OK. Cool. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it once and we got one. Fantastic. And then we go to the next one again to ChatGPT. And over here that says here is the URL of the article. You can click on that and then you can go over here to URL and click on that. Fantastic. We click on OK. Now next we add another ChatGPT module and another create a completion module. And then for model, again, you would click on GPT-4o and then add methods role, user, message content, and basically I pasted the prompt that I use and it says you're an expert content creator. Anyways, I give it some context on the different social media that I have and the content that I want to create. And then the instruction says I need you to do 2 things using the title of the article, and then I give you the title. Let me just show you how I would give you the title over here. I would go back to RSS, which is the first step that I added in this workflow, and then I would click on title and then the same with summary. So I would go to summary over here. And I would click on summary and it says, and the summary of the same article. Then we have the summary here. I want you to come up with a long form video framework breaking down a potential long form YouTube video that I can shoot on this subject. Include a nice hook in the beginning to capture the audience's attention, make it informative and educational on the subject, and encourage people to subscribe by the end of the video. And 2, come up with a short form video framework, blah, blah, blah. It's basically the same thing for short form video. Cool. And then we put max tokens again 0. Then we'll click on OK. Oh, something that I forgot actually here is basically you want to create content related to your subject and the industry that you're in and your target audience. In this case, for me, it's going to be artificial intelligence, but I don't want articles that are kind of outside of my subject to be served to me as a content idea. Okay, so what I do here to avoid that is I would click on this little space between the 2 modules. So you click on that and then you can label it, for example, title or description contain and that specific keyword that you want. For example, for me, I want the title or the description of that article to include AI. Otherwise, I don't want the article to be served to me. So I click on that. Then the condition is going to be title. Then it's going to be contains and then AI, or description contains AI. And what I can do here is I can add another or rule and I can say title contains artificial intelligence or description contains artificial intelligence. Fantastic. We click on OK. And then basically right now, what I did is that only if that article's title or description contain AI or artificial intelligence is going to move forward in that workflow. And the next one is going to be a Google Documents module. And what you want to do is you want to click on create a document from a template. So now for you to be able to create a document from a template, you need to have a template in your Google Drive. So let's go ahead and create a template. All right, so this is the template that I have. It's very, very simple. It has the word title in these little curly brackets. It has article summary without the curly brackets. Then we have summary over here with the curly brackets, and then we have content ideas without the curly brackets and content with curly brackets. Now, the reason for that is because it says here, if the document contains tags like name, they are retrieved below. So basically what this means in simple terms is that we can take the title of the article that we got from Wired, and just because we have title over here, we can map, which basically map means connect information. So basically what this means is that if we have a Google document template like this, we can take the title of the article and then we can map it to the title here. Let's continue. Over here, we will change from by drop down to by mapping. Then document ID, you take the ID of the document, which is basically everything after this slash over here and then before the next slash. Then you copy it, you paste it over here, and then over here at the tags and replace value, what you do is you take the first one without the curly brackets, so you copy that and you put it here at the tags. Then replace value is going to be the title of the article that we got from the first step. So we go back to the first step down here and then we click on the title. Cool. Next one is going to be another item. We go back to the document. We take the next parameter, which is summary, and then we paste it here. And then again, for the replace value, we need to go down to step number 1, which is the RSS step. And then we need to find summary. We click on summary and another item. We go back to the document. We take content or whatever word you have over here. And then we go back, we paste it at tags. And the replace value for content over here is going to be at the last option of ChatGPT, which is the third option. We have to go to choices, methods. Yeah, it's going to be here. This is going to be it. I don't have something over here to show you because we haven't run it yet, but we're going to do it just now. So over here, you can title the new document that is going to be created in your Google Drive however you want. You can, for example, for me, I can just title it with the title of the article. So we click on title, then it's going to be my drive. And then you have to click over here and you have to choose the folder that the new Google documents are going to be created in that folder based on the template that we use. And by the way, this is how mine looks like. I have one Google folder that is called viral content ideas. I have one folder in it for archive, like whenever I see the ideas and either I don't like them or I'm done with them, I can just drop the documents in the archived folder because I don't want to have a bunch of documents over here to be piling up. And then I have one Google Sheet that we're gonna check that out in the next module. Cool, so we have to find this specific folder in make.com. So we go back to make, then we'll click on this little button over here. Fantastic, and I found the folder, so we'll click on OK. And let's just run this workflow once to see how it operates. So we'll click on run once. Fantastic, and let's see what we got. So here's what we got, and it says OpenAI is testing its powers of persuasion. It's actually the same example with the article that we pulled in the very beginning of the video, but fine, you can just see how it works. And we have the article summary, we have the content ideas, and that's pretty much it. Actually, what happened is because I put over here in the RSS module, maximum number of returned items 5, what happened is that it retrieved actually many different articles and then we got more completions over here. So let's just check them out. Here we go. So look at that. It says AI can't replace teaching, but it can make it better. We have the article summary. The reason that I put the article summary there is because I don't want you to just have the content idea and let's say you don't really care about this video, but you have to read the whole thing. You can just read the article summary, and if you like the idea as a concept, then you can create content on that. Otherwise, you can just drop it. Fantastic. So now let's go to the next module, and the next module is going to be a Google Sheets module, and it's going to be add a row. So what I would suggest over here is you create a Google Sheet in the same folder that you have all of these different Google documents arriving from the automation, because basically it's very easy to track all of these different articles. And for me, I have this column heads, which is article title, summary, article URL, Google document URL, website, date article was created by author, and date article was added to this sheet. Okay, so I will do the same thing. I think it's a good way to stay organized. And let's go ahead and continue with this automation. So over here, I would choose enter it manually, and I go back to Google Sheets over here. I find the ID, I copy it, I go back to make, I paste it here. Then sheet name is gonna be, I go back to Google Sheets, and the sheet name is sheet 1. I paste it here. Then column range, you click on that. And now over here we have the different columns, which is basically column A, B, C, D, E, etc. And they correspond to these columns over here. So column A is going to be the article title. So we go back here and we have to find the article title. So we go back to the first step over here, which is the RSS step. Then we take the title and we click on the title. Then we go back to the sheet. Column B is summary. So we go back to make. And again, we scroll down to the first step, and it's going to be the summary right here. So we'll click on summary. Then column C is the article URL. So again, we'll go back to make, and we'll go down to the first step again, and we'll click on the URL. Then D is Google document URL. So what you do here is you will have to go to any Google document, and you need to copy everything up until the slash. Do not copy the ID at all. Okay, so you need to copy that, and then you need to drop it over here at D. And then what you need to do is you need to click on the document ID from the last step that we created, which is the Google Docs step, and it's complete. And then we'll go to E, and E is the website. So what we do here is we go back to the second step, and you click on the result. And for the second step, basically what we instructed ChatGPT to do is to analyze the URL of the article and determine the website. In this case, it determined that the website is Wired. The next column is column F, which is date article was created by author. So we go back to make, and we scroll down to RSS again, and you click on date created. The next one is G, which is date article was added to this sheet. I think it's important, or I think it's good for organizing to have that in. And we go back to make, and then we click on this little calendar over here, and you click on now. Fantastic. Okay. And then as a last step is I want to set the automation in a way that I get notified every single time there are more articles and more Google documents for me to take a look at, so that I determine if I want to create content on something. Okay. So I use Discord. You can do the same with Slack, but in this case, we're going to go with Discord. And you can set this step in different ways. For example, you can set it to send you a message in a specific channel in your server. I'm not going to do that because I want to keep my server kind of out of it, but I'm going to set the automation to send me a DM. Okay, so how I do that is you go to send a message, and then choose a method. I will change that from send a message to a channel to send a DM, and then guild member, search guild members. It says enter username or a nickname. For example, for me, so my username is Fivos Elite Architect. So what I do is I go back to make, and I type in Fivos. Okay, and as you can see over here, it searches the different guild members, and I have my Discord ID over here, so we continue with that. And the message is gonna be new viral content idea out, please check it out. And then what we need to do is we need to copy everything in this link over here and disregard the whole ID and everything else. Okay, so after this slash, don't include anything else, and you copy the first part. So you paste it here, and then you need to go back to the Google Docs step, and you need to click on document ID. You click on OK, and that's pretty much it. And let's see how that runs. Here we go. And I just received another message from Discord, and it just keeps on going. Okay, because we have set the number of items that it can retrieve, maximum up to 5. So it has gotten up to 3, and it just keeps going. 4, and very likely we're gonna go up to 5. So now we go to Discord, and we click on the DM over here, and let's see what we got. So I copy the first link over here, I open it here. Here we go, and we have how this information from a Russian AI spam farm ended up on top of Google search results. We have the article summary, we have the content ideas, and this is how you can have content ideas, viral content ideas from recent news served to you on autopilot. And then let's go to our Google Sheet over here. And as you can see over here, we have the article and everything regarding that very, very nicely organized. Now, one thing that I want to say is that over here for the website, so what you can do if you want to have different sources feeding you information and not only Wired, is you can duplicate this specific workflow and do exactly the same with everything else, but the only difference is going to be the very first step, a different RSS feed. For example, you can take New York Times RSS feed or something like that, because New York Times is basically a very popular website. And how you would do that is you would go to New York Times RSS feed, you would click on that, and then you would have to find that subject that is related to your own industry. So for example, for me, it would be technology. And then you would copy this link over here, you would paste it here, and then let's leave everything else the same. We click on OK, we run it once, and let's see what happens. All right, here we go. So I received a DM. Let me go and check it. Here we go. And it says Microsoft surrenders OpenAI board position. We have the article summary. We have the content idea, and if we go to Google Sheet, it's gonna say here that the website is New York Times and not Wired. So if, for example, your job is to create content or have something regarding news that you need to stay updated on the different, basically news that happen in your industry, then you can set up this automation multiple times with different sources, and then you can have very updated news served to you. And actually something that I forgot to mention on how to set this automation on autopilot is you need to go over here to this little clock and then click on that, and you're gonna set this automation to run at specific either intervals or specific days of the week or something like that. So I would suggest, if you have to do weekly research or content creation, to click on days of the week. And then for me, let's say I want to receive these updates on a Sunday, so I will click on Sunday, then I will click OK. Let's save that, and then when I turn the scheduling of this automation on, what's going to happen is that every Sunday this automation is going to run, and then it's going to create all of these content ideas and YouTube scripts and short scripts and send them to me on a Sunday. So guys, this is pretty much it for this video. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. And by the way, check out my school community. In my school community, I'm going to be having courses on AI and automations that are going to be literally insane. It's going to be the first link in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. See you in the next video.